Hi, I'm Megan McKeefrey with the Alliance for American Manufacturing, and I'm here today in Kaukauna, Wisconsin with Mayor Jean Rosin. Hi, Jean.
Hi, how are you, Megan?
Good, thank you. How are you doing?
Good.
Could you tell me how long you've lived in this area for?
I've lived here all my life, actually, 60 years, so I'm not saying I'm an authority on it, but I know I've seen a few things happening here, so yeah.
And you've been mayor for how many years?
4 years. I just got reelected here last week. So
Yeah, congratulations.
thank you.
So, being in this area your whole life, have you seen the economy change and the job market?
Yep. Naturally, the markets change, and it seems to go through cycles. And I remember back in the mid-70s, there was a large dip. A lot of the local, not only in the paper industry, but it affected numerous manufacturing facilities here in the valley, where there was a downturn in the economy and people were being laid off. And then things slowly, they rise again, and then you ramble along for a number of years and everything is fine, and then all of a sudden then there's another downtick. And so I've seen some good times and some bad times, but this is probably the lowest ebb that I've seen that I can remember happening.
Could you tell me what the paper industry means to the city of Kaukauna?
Well, Thilmany's is a large employer. Actually, Thilmany Paper Mill is our largest employer here in the city of Kaukauna. We are a size community of 15,000 people. So it does have a large effect. They employ 950 people down at the mill, and they have a huge tax base down there as far as their taxable value, $36 million. So that generates a large amount of money, not only to the city of Kaukauna, but also to our local school system and Outagamie County, where we're located. So it has a large effect. Okay.
As I was talking to you earlier, you mentioned that a lot of the employees at the mill are pretty active in the community. Could you talk a little bit about some of the things that they work on?
Absolutely. We're very fortunate. We are a very close-knit community. We consider ourselves a blue-collar community. And I think because of that, we have a very large volunteer base here in our community. The people here that live here and in the surrounding area are very community orientated. They get out, they participate. If it's rebuilding somebody's home that got hit, we had a tornado go through our community about 7-8 years ago, and that was devastating for this small community. People rallied, they helped their neighbors out. We have a huge environmental center here in Kaukauna. It's called 1,000 Islands Nature Preserve, and Thilmany's has been very, very active in assisting us in helping us with that facility. It takes up a large piece of property, and there's many of the volunteers are either employees or former employees of Thilmany. So.
Great. Could you tell me what the effects on this community have been with the New Page paper mill that shut down just at the neighboring community of Kimberly?
Sure. Thilmany's, or Kimberly, is a community about half the size of Kaukauna, and it's located just upriver from us. They had the New Page paper mill close here, I think it was 2 years ago. That was a huge effect not only on the village of Kimberly, but also on the surrounding communities. And Kaukauna was hit very hard with that because percentage-wise we had the largest employee base of the New Page mill actually lived in our community and surrounding communities. So even though it wasn't part of us, it had a big effect on us.
All right. Could you tell me if you think that we continue to keep losing paper jobs at the rate we are today, if this mill in the Kaukauna here was affected, what would you see happen to the community as far as the tax base or the services that are offered?
Well, it would put definitely a huge strain financially on our community, and a strain like that could affect the services that we provide. Kaukauna provides a full-time ambulance and fire department, so we'd have to reevaluate that if we could continue to support those with the present tax dollars. That would take effect at that point in time. We have the employees themselves that would be displaced, would have to either relocate or try to find another job somewhere. The problem being, as Kimberly, former employees, found out, if they were able to find another form of employment, they were not making the same amount of dollars that the people that work in the mill. Those are all good paying jobs. So,
So a reduced standard of living?
You bet.
For most of those people.
It affects their entire family then too.
Yeah. Could you tell me a little bit about, as we were talking earlier, you said the policing, how that would be affected with continued loss of manufacturing?
Yeah, history has shown that if the person that's the breadwinner of the family either has hours reduced that he's working, or his job has been eliminated, the calls for service seems to go up. Especially we've noticed that in the number of police calls for service. Anytime a family is living under that type of stress, either one of the two spouses usually has, with the added stress on the family, more time spent at home. Perhaps the use of alcohol or drugs increases, so we see our calls for domestic violence calls go up.
Okay.
So the call for service increases.
All right. What do you think needs to happen with this trade case in order to continue, keep jobs made in America?
Well, I think there definitely needs to be something done. There has to be some type of mandates put in place to restrict the influx of foreign products, especially foreign paper, coming in, because it definitely has taken a toll on our area of the country, which is noted as the paper capital of the world.
Yeah.
So
All right. Well, thank you for taking the time to share your story. I really appreciate it.
not a problem.